yeah, I'm still want to be on Love on the Spectrum, and I want to make this video for the stuff that I didn't include. I'll put this on so that, yeah. So, I'm not one of those girls who has my whole identity around the fact that I'm on the spectrum. I mean, okay, maybe that's not true. I don't know. But, like, a lot of my identity is, like, that I love guinea pigs, and I like the nickname of, like, if people don't remember my name, they just say the girl with the rabbit, and I like that. Like, I would not like to be called the girl with autism. I mean, it would, I guess that'd be fine, but I don't know. The reason why I call my channel, like my YouTube channel, AJ's Autistic Interests, is because I don't want to just talk about one thing on that channel. I want to talk about all of my likes, and I couldn't think of anything else in common with all of my likes except that they're my autistic interests. So there you go. Yeah, and I just want to rant about my likes sometimes here. That's why I always like to have this set behind me, because it has all of my likes and all of the fandoms that I'm into behind me, all of my special interests. I like to call this my special interest wall. Well, it's becoming a wall. It's not actually a wall, it's just a section of the wall. So I was watching a YouTube video about all the different things that people have that are problems with Love on the Spectrum. And obviously no show is going to be perfect, no thing is going to be perfect, and like, despite the fact that I do not think that this show is perfect, I still want to be on it. But I do want to say that that I don't have an autism mum. My mum doesn't identify as an autism mum. I mean, she's not autistic, but she also, you know, doesn't talk about how hard her life has been raising an autistic child. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't easy raising me, but, you know, and she sure did read some books and stuff. I was diagnosed at 9, so like, she did her research, but she, you know, doesn't make it a big part of her identity, not like an unnecessary big part of her identity. Just like acknowledges that, yeah, this is part of my life, this is who my daughter is, sort of thing for her. If I did get in, I doubt that she would be, like, on there that much. She's not, like, you know, camera, like, hogger. I think it would mainly just be me. I mean, probably my younger brother who wants to get into the film industry would, do a bit on there, but I have no idea how much my mum would want to be on camera. If we get to that bridge, then we'll cross it when we get to it, if that's what they say. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, I think is what they say. So if we get to that bridge, then we'll work it out then. I know that different people wanted to have different point of views, you know, different parts of the spectrum. I talked about that in my last video, but my iPad went flat, and then other life happened that made me not make more of that video at the time, which is why I'm doing this way in the future. But I think you got what I was saying about how different every single individual person is. How, like, I was diagnosed early, and I like, people will notice that I have autism. When I was younger, I was very good at masking. I was a very high masker, and you wouldn't know that I had autism if you met me, and that I am autistic. So I used to be one of those people that people would say, oh, you don't look autistic. The only thing about me that makes me look autistic is the fact that I have glasses. And, I like to wear the fandom shirts, and always have. I think that they're a good conversation starter, but I don't seem that weird, at first, after a good amount of learning how to high mask. But then now that everything has seemed to like infantilize autism, and people seem to view it as a really positive thing. I have been able to come out of my shell and embrace this side of me, and unmask a lot. Sometimes I feel like I could be one of those people that people say that they don't really have autism, but then when I think about it, I also have generalized anxiety. I did have panic attacks like once a week, and now it's become like twice a month. It's getting a lot better, but of course I will have those bad days and those bad weeks. Bad things will happen. Days and weeks where I don't have as much access to my support rabbit Maple as I would like. So, if I was just one of those people who just found out that I have autism and have a normal life other than that, I mean, no, I'm sure those people still had lots of challenges in their life, but it just doesn't show as much. But like, when I think about it, I have a reason for I don't know. I have more than just a quirky personality, I'd say. It's not just that I like guinea pigs more than the average person. It's that I am, I don't want to say very autistic, because everyone is the same amount of autistic. Just like how every butterfly is the same amount of butterfly. Just that some colours can show higher. So, I guess I'm not your typical autistic. I'm not obsessed with numbers. In fact, I'm quite the opposite. I'm horrible with letters and stuff because of my dyslexia. I'm into a lot of animal stuff. I guess I'm kind of your typical girl with autism. I'm definitely not like the typical boy with autism, like from The Good Doctor. Will take absolutely everything literally, and I do like instinctively take some things literally, but most of the time I do know what you mean. But I do sometimes like to say a joke, like if someone's saying too much, mainly because my dad did this because I think way too much, and then say there we go. I will say, I've got two of those, because it sounds like you're saying and like when somebody says under your skin, I will immediately in my head, I will picture like layers of skin and something going under it. It's, you know, I will still have that thing, but I won't speak in a monotone voice. And, you know, I'm not a Wednesday autism or one of those ones that you see on your typical autism thing. And I have a lot of different interests. That's one of the things that I find tricky, that my interests like to shift, which I guess is part of having ADHD as well. I can have hyperfixations on something and then not be as interested at all. Like, for example, right now I'm into My Little Pony a lot more than I am into Lion King and Frozen at the moment. But I can still tell you a lot about those things, and I should still consider those things special interests. I'm just more in a mood of My Little Pony at this moment, in this time, and the fact that my special interests can move and shift and change can make me feel like less autistic than other people who have this one special interest that they own it on, and then that it especially does seem like that in the movies and stuff about autistic people. I will have a little bit of a unique story to tell as somebody if I go on Love on the Spectrum. Like, I mean, we're not poor, but we're not rich either. We're not super well off. I know that a lot of people on Love on the Spectrum will have jobs and all that stuff, and I don't, and will like have really like I know that a lot of them will have really big looking houses and amazingly big collections of stuff, and I do have pretty big collections, but a lot of them are just from Facebook Marketplace and really cheap stuff. And if I could, I would have the most giant collections of stuff. Not that it's good to, you know, conform to the consumerism and be a hoard and stuff. I don't want to buy too much stuff. And I have definitely been a victim of shopping. I love to go shopping and buy stupid stuff, not clothes-wise, but in basically everything else-wise. If I have a hyperfixation on something, I will buy everything for it, and then it will end up in some drawer or something, and I'll eventually get it out, and then it will be half made, sitting somewhere. So I would like to be able to afford those hobbies, those hyperfixations. So I'm sure that people more normal, more of you people can see, oh, that's like me, with the no jobs, and I don't have like your ideal, what you imagine people to be like. People will imagine autistics as very innocent people who just always have a smile through life. I mean, I do like to smile, but I'm definitely not afraid to show my damaged side. But then I'm not like so damaged that you don't want me to be a role model for the TV. I mean, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't do any of that stuff. I'm a committed Christian, and that sort of thing, but then I don't have a job, and I don't currently have a job, and like I said, I have depression and anxiety, and I don't just bounce back super quickly from my problems like the fact that I have anxiety is showing that that going through society as an autistic has, you know, made me not, I don't exactly come out on the other side super, like, like easily. I'm very broken and I'm willing to show that. I'm not saying that everyone else with autism is not, that's on Love on the Spectrum is like not broken or like hasn't been through a lot is what I mean. But I'm willing to show that side of it, I guess, and I'm willing to show that part of me that's, you know, that's not all rainbows and butterflies, just as much as I do like My Little Pony. Or rainbows and sunshine. I like the cold a bit better, both literally and figuratively. But at the end of the day, I really just want a boyfriend. I want to be in a relationship, I want to get married, and I want it to, you know, be the right man for me. And I want to share that experience with you guys, and I've seen that Love on the Spectrum has been able to find the right match for people. I mean, I think her name was Madison. I love Madison. She seems so nice, and I feel like I'd be best friends with her. I feel like I'd be best friends with a lot of people on Love on the Spectrum. I'd love to meet them. But, like, they can find sometimes they'll find their person on the first date, and I would love that. I mean, I know that that's very unlikely for that to happen to me, but yeah, I would definitely like to have that opportunity, and yeah. So yeah, if you agree that I should be on Love on the Spectrum, yeah, like, share, comment. I don't know if they're doing a renewal of the Australian season. They've only done 2 seasons in Australia. I want them to do a season 3, but I don't know if they are. All I know is that I have applied for the cast, and therefore there is a possibility. And I would love them to do another season. But this isn't like an audition video. This is just me being desperate and not knowing like what else to do to show that I really want to be on there. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Sorry for all the yes and ahs and and the ands and the just slow processing stuff, but thank you for sitting through all that, if you did, and I'll see you guys next time when I talk about one of my special interests. Bye.